Tony Toss 2025 modern western Americana is finally out, and it's his directorial debut, and I think he does a pretty damn good job for his first movie. This movie did take 2.5 years to release, I believe. It's supposed to come out in 2023, and it's finally out 2 years later. In a year where we've had a good bunch of Western movies this year. We had Eddington, obviously, which is another modern Western movie. The Unholy Trinity with Samuel L. Jackson. And I believe I watched at least one or two more Western movies this year. Oh well, I can't remember the other ones, but I know I've at least watched one or two more this year. And this one holds up pretty well, just like the rest. Is it the best I've seen this year? Definitely not. And for modern Western movies, it's not as good as Eddington, but it's still an enjoyable movie. We obviously had Sydney Sweeney, who was the cover girl for this movie essentially, and she does a pretty fine job as an actress. I think most of the problems with this movie actually fall in a lot of the line delivery. Everyone just feels so dreaded throughout this movie. Like it sounds like no one wants to be here, which is unfortunate because I think even with what they're given, they do pretty well. Sydney Sweeney does fine, especially for having to do a speech impediment for the movie, having a stutter every time she speaks, and and I'm grateful Sydney Sweeney finally has a role in a movie where she doesn't have to, or she's done movies before where she doesn't just flaunt her body in every scene, but she's mostly known for Euphoria, obviously. And when she got hired for Madam Web, everyone was kind of just excited to see her in a skin tight costume. So it's nice just to see Sydney Sweeney in normal clothes, and and she wasn't sexualized like at all in this movie. Obviously her partner in crime, Paul Hauser, is in this film. What an amazing year for him! I actually think he's my second favorite part of this movie. Or my second favorite actor in this movie. I'll get to my favorite later. But I mean, he was in Fantastic Four. He was in this. He was in. Oh shit! Give me a second. See this? I'm just thinking right now. He was in something earlier. Oh, a Naked Gun. Oh my god, a Naked Gun. So I guess this span of 30 days has been pretty loaded for him in terms of movie releases, and he's good in all of them. He's funny in Naked Gun. He's funny in Fantastic Four, and he doesn't play a funny role in this movie, but he does a good job at making himself very lovable. I don't really care for any of the characters in this movie. I think the little kid in this movie is very funny, but other than that, um, I don't. I was if someone died, I was just like they died. But when Paul Hauser's character dies, you care, and it's actually pretty depressing. And it kind of makes you think that he has a chance when he's laying on the ground with a gun wound and he's crawling away, and he even gets in the car and drives away, and you think he's gonna make it, but he ends up dying. So that was a damn shame. I'm also happy they didn't just make his, like I said, Sydney Sweeney. I'm happy they didn't just make his character like a little horny monster who just wants to like prey on Sydney Sweeney's character. I thought that was gonna be a thing. Um, Especially because the first time you see him, he's trying to propose to a girl for a sixth time this year, is what they say. And I wasn't ready for what he was gonna do with Sydney Sweeney's character, and I'm happy they didn't go that route. My favorite part of this movie, though, actor in this movie, besides Paul Hauser, and you know what? The more I think about it, that little kid was really good. I talked about in my last review. I think it was Sketch. How kid actors are doing really well this year with Weapons, Sketch, this movie, and obviously they're not kids, but they are younger with the Freakier Friday duo. This kid is really good. He doesn't do much in this movie, and he kind of repeats the same lines over and over again. But there's the scene where he's not arrested, but he's captured with Sydney Sweeney, and they're sitting on the side of the hut, and everything he does just feels so like I don't know. It's just so. It seems like he's been doing it for a while, but I don't know what. I don't know who he is. I haven't looked into it. I don't know if he's in anything else, but No, it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't look like it, but he was really good. I mean, kid actors are getting so good. I'm just so happy. He was really fun. He's so funny. Every time he's on screen, he's funny. I mean, the opening scene in this movie with him is hilarious, where he shoots uh Eric Eric Dane's character in the neck, and he's pretending to be a Native American, and he's doing everything he can to be part of the Native American tribe, and he even goes to the point where they get the ghost shirt, and Paul Hauser and Sydney Sweeney drive him over to the Native Americans' land like area where they stay, and he's sitting there with the ghost shirt, waiting for well, I actually don't know the actor's name, but he's waiting for like the head honcho, and he gives him the ghost shirt, and the guy's just like, "Fuck off," and he goes to the door, and the kid just like, "Man, what the fuck?" And he just walks away. I love that. I keep like going around this, but my favorite actor in this movie is probably Halsey. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's Halsey. I don't know why I'm forgetting her name. Uh, she is really good. I also unfortunately didn't care if she died. They didn't do anything to make you really feel for her, except the scene where you finally get to her Amish family's house. I don't think they had any type of technology. I can't really recall. And you find out that throughout many, many years, her dad is hiring people and having them rape his daughters so they can keep the bloodline going, which is just disgusting. But I wish there was more to that. It felt like just like a really quick scene. I mean, the scene where you discover it happens. It's just like her sister escapes the room, and then the guy gets shot. The guy's stepdad gets shot in the head, and that's it. And I wish there was more on that. This movie could have been a little longer. It's only an hour 40, I believe. I think it says an hour 47, but it ends at like the hour 40 mark. It should have been 2 hours. I think there was just so much more to develop with these characters, and I think that's why a lot of people don't really like this movie. None of the characters you care for, they're all dying, and and the movie ends with Sydney Sweeney singing, and it doesn't feel like anything important. Um, you get her with her abusive mother earlier in the movie, where she's making fun of her stutter right after she's trying to sing, and she only sings for like 2 seconds. But other than that, she doesn't do anything. I don't know. I feel like there was just so much more exploration for these characters, and we just didn't get it. I mean, it's such a shame. The biggest problem with this movie is just the characters. The characters and the script writing, the dialogue. It's just so bare bones. There should have been way more to this movie. I do think as a movie it's really good. There just could have been 20 more minutes and this movie would have been amazing. It could have been up there with Eddington, but unfortunately it's not. But everyone who is in this movie acts really good. It's just what they're given is not the best. I think Sydney Sweeney's really good and I'm happy she plays a different role than what I'm used to hearing about her. Paul Hauser's phenomenal again for like the fourth time this year I've seen him in a movie. Halsey is insane. I can't remember if she's in a movie other than this. I'm gonna go check right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna look. That she's in Maxine, and Maxine is awesome. So I can't remember who she plays in Maxine, but I love Maxine, and I love almost every character in that movie. So I'm assuming she was great too. And it's a shame that this movie came out 2 years later than it was supposed to, because this could have been amazing for a lot of these actors' career. I mean, Sydney Sweeney, Paul Hauser, Halsey. I don't know about Simon Rex. He was just fine. He was in it for a couple minutes. But Eric Dane was really, really good in this movie, and I wish we got more of him. The scene where he breaks into the house and they kill people is so cool, and I can't believe that scene's way better than the final gunfight. You get so much build up with all these different groups coming together in one area, and you think it's gonna be a final six shootout like how westerns usually are, and it's not. The final shootout is very boring, dragged out too much and nothing really happens in it. Yeah, people die, but it just doesn't feel like impactful. The Native Americans almost all die except for one of them. The Amish family, all the men die, which is probably the best part, and that's not really necessarily part of the gunfight. They all just kind of just die to the woman in the family. which was cool, but like, what the hell? There should have been more, I don't know, more involvement from these other groups. And then you obviously have Simon Rex's group who really does nothing. I mean, he does like maybe one, two good things, and then it just doesn't do much. And then his buddy shoots his machine gun while he's like dying. He gets so many bullets off, but it's just not like it's just not fun. I feel like final shootouts, especially in westerns, are usually like fun, crazy, something like something special to them. This one was just nighttime, nothing cool. That's it. And then obviously Sydney Sweeney and Paul Hauser don't do much either. And I wish they did more. I mean, Paul Hauser just gets sidelined. It sucks because that's the only character you really care about throughout this movie, and he just gets sidelined immediately in this final gunfight. I don't know. The coolest part about this final gunfight was the flashlight scene, which obviously happens for like a millisecond, where Sydney Sweeney grabs the pistol, shoots it, and it makes Simon Rex's character turn around, and there's a line of like a horizon of the Native Americans' heads behind the barrels in the giant wiring and stuff, and it looks so cool. It's like they're like it's like watching a documentary for like lemurs and like the guys going around at nighttime, and you see a bunch of heads poking out. It looks so cool, and then you don't get any of that for the rest of the fight. So I don't know why you made this nighttime and you didn't make it look cool. You just had that one cool flashlight scene, and that was it. I didn't get it. I don't know. This movie had a lot to be desired. It's a really damn shame. I wish this movie just was more. Americana could have been better than Eddington, I think, and it could have been one of the better movies this year. I think this movie's just okay. And that's Americana. I feel like I was rambling a lot in this review. I might have jumped a lot all over the place, but a lot of my thoughts just kind of reside with the dialogue and the lack of a lot of things, and obviously the final fight being kind of lackluster as well. Um, I am recording this right before work. It is 11 p.m., so I'm sorry for if I seem like I was rushing, but Americana's fine. It's a good modern Western movie. I just so much more to be desired. Is this a good directorial debut? For sure. It just came out 2 years too late, and I feel like within that 2 years you could have added way more. Damn shame, but still solid.